Hi everyone and welcome to the first video of the new channel. We are going to be looking at a Diablo deck list today. So let's get right into it. First we have Promising Knight David. What he does is that when you are retiring for cost, he counts as a bonus retire, so he counts as 2. I like him as a starter and I don't know, not much else to say. And then for triggers, run 8 critical triggers. Um, 8 I feel is just a standard number. You can run 10 if you like, you can drop the draw triggers, but I feel it's better this way in my opinion. Next, I run only 2 draw triggers because this deck has a lot of call power and you can deck out pretty easily. So you run any more than 2 and you make it more dangerous for yourself. I run 2 stand triggers. This one is like David. It will count as an extra retire for cost, and then you can put it back to the top of your deck and shuffle. And then I run 4 heal triggers. Um, 4 is just a standard number. I run 3 stride fodders because it's a stride fodder, and why wouldn't you run any? 2 Sharons. I feel like the deck already has enough bonus retires, so I think 2 is just the perfect number. 2 sword breakers. Um, Swordbreaker, you don't have to run Swordbreaker, but I personally like it because adding more cards to your hand with the Soul Blast, it's just easy. Um, you want more cards in your hand early, so yeah. Run Kahedon, run him at 4 because this card is really good in my opinion. Um, Basically, you can just like retire him and then give your Vanguard plus 5,000. And then if you have a Hoel, or no, um, sorry, I was thinking of something else. Um, you can call another unit once the Vanguard attack hits when you give that Vanguard plus 5,000 power. And then if you have a Hoel, you the the called unit gains another plus 3,000. Actually, yeah, yeah, sorry. 5,000. Sorry, I was thinking of Hoel's skill for a second. The plus 3,000. It's another 5,000. Alright, we got 4 Karma Collectors. I prefer Karma Collector over the one that you can get in the Legend deck because why wouldn't you want to unflip damage? And plus, this deck runs 4 Dark Saga Painters, which already draw, when it's called, you draw one and you discard one. So you don't really want to have too many of those in your deck. And I feel like using him at 4 is really good just because he counts as a grade 1 in your deck, which just can combo very easily with certain cards like Maka. When she's boosted, you counterblast 1 and then search for grade 1 from your deck and call it to rear guard. I don't think you should run any more than 3 though because you don't want it to be like so clunky. You can run 2 if you want, but I feel like you probably wouldn't get it in your hand as often. So 3 is just fine with me. Finally, for grade 2s, run 4 Hoel. Basically, when you call a grade 1, your Vanguard gains plus 3,000. And then if the grade 1 called is a Kahedon, you can countercharge and soul charge 1, which is good for, well, most of the G units in this deck and also for Swordbreaker, so it'll give you more soul, that is. 3 Blaster Dark Diablo. Um, I like using him more as a finisher. I don't prefer to ride him first, just because you don't really get anything out of it. Like Vortimer is just a much better first ride because he has skills towards it, but this guy, you'll probably just want to ride him after you're done with Spectral Blaster, just so you can get that retire on when you go on to Phantom Blaster. And like I said, Vortimer, he's going to be your main Vanguard for this deck. Basically just Counterblast Soul Blast 1, and then you can call a grade 1 from your deck only when you first ride him. Otherwise, when you stride a Diablo, you can retire one unit and call one unit, and then if the G unit that you strode is a spectral, spectral blaster, then you can call another unit. And your first stride will be um, Orgeyser Dragon. Orgeyser is just an easy, like 5 cards in your hand at least on when you stride him because his skill Counterblast, Soul Blast, retire 2 units, and then you check the top 2 cards of your deck. For each grade 1 or lower, he gains plus 5,000. Now, if some people prefer to use Orgasm Doomed, that's not really, I don't really like it just because you have to retire 3 units and you're not even guaranteed that um, retire for your opponent's field. So, I don't know. I just prefer this guy. 2, Spectral Blaster Diablo. Um, Basically, why wouldn't you use him? He's a restanding Vanguard G unit. So yeah, it applies just so much pressure. And you can use him as a finisher, but I prefer to use him as that second stride. Use him as second stride, take away a lot of your opponent's. You take away cards from their hand, you take away cards from their field. It's just a good card. Finally, for Phantom Blaster Diablos. Um, Basically, why wouldn't this card is just so dumb. He stops you from guarding if you don't retire 2 units. That's already very, very good. And on top of that, at a counterblast of 1, and then you flip over one of him, you, or no, it's just when you flip one over, you don't count, you counterblast for the effect. He gains plus 10,000 plus 1 critical. So if they choose not to guard it, they're taking 2 damage at least, and then you drive checks. Like, they literally have to guard this. So, yeah. Well, that's the deck profile for my Diablo deck. If you like the video, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time.